Woke Phase 1 just might be over. AOC, the leader of the gang, is declaring it's time for a change. No more of those woke policies in entertainment and politics. Instead, we're moving to Phase 2. But what is Phase 2? Well, what if we told you we now expect companies like Disney to drop some of the issues that were so divisive before in honor of anti-capitalist, pro-communist screeds? What? And why would they do so? Well, this is the video you need to hear. It's a great day. It's a groovy day, folks. Thanks for coming our way and welcome back yet again. It's your friend WDW Pro. What does the WDW stand for? Who knows? Actually, the viewers of the channel are selecting that as we speak. And as we speak, folks like AOC are trying to scramble the message and change what is woke exactly. Today we'll tell you what the plan is, why they're moderating before the midterms, and what it means for entertainment, which is what we cover every single day right here. This might be the end of the woke era. AOC coming out and saying, hey, woke Phase 1 was crazy. Can they move on? And will this affect the entertainment industry? Well, get ready. This is what we've got coming to you from ABC this week. It's an exclusive. We'll play a little bit of it. I think they'll ding us. I think they'll hit us with the copyright, but it's fair use, folks. We have to play this for you to see what the heck is going on, and it's from a news outlet. It is making news. So let's go to it right now. Here's AOC reframing the way she views the woke era before perhaps she's going to run for POTUS. We'll just go over to the Washington Examiner as we fix our technical difficulties. And you can see that Byron York is writing, "You can't erase woke." This from the Washington Examiner, claiming that, AOC, you can try, but we're not going to forget this. It says this political season, like the last couple, it's featuring lots of Democratic candidates, not only running for office, but running away from things they said from 2019 and 2021. And I would say much beyond that. The latest is the loopy frontrunner for the Democratic nomination for governor of Wisconsin. In the last few days, Hong has walked back her 2020 call to cancel Thanksgiving so the nation can stop celebrating colonialism. She has also backed off her 2019 and 2021 calls to defund, then abolish the police. She no longer stands by her 2021 call to abolish the Senate. And AOC is joining with her and saying, well, woke Phase 1 was crazy, eh? But we suffered through woke Phase 1, folks. Here's what AOC has to say now. Marv, go ahead and play it for us.
It's possible to win the Senate. So I've been focused on those legislative
What do you make of those controversial statements? I'm sure you've seen. I mean, she's, the Thanksgiving dust up. Mm-hmm. She says she doesn't, still believe that, but, the abolished prisons, abolished police, which is also positions that have been taken by a lot of the progressive candidates who have won. Mm-hmm. How do you get around that?
Yeah.
I mean, those are not positions that are supported by.
Right. I think that a lot of these races, even right now, they'll have a tendency to be nationalized. Yeah. But these races ultimately are local, and all politics are local. My understanding is that Francesca Hong has made clear her present stances to her electorate.
Yeah, she's moved away from a lot of that.
Right, she's moved away from it. And I have a local city councilman that has this saying, woke 1 was crazy.
Pause there, Marv. Okay, woke Phase 1 was crazy, which is to say woke Phase 2 is on the way. They're trying to neuter woke so that you will forget about it long enough to get them back into power and they'll bring it back again. Woke revival. But Marv, we have suffered under woke with what's happened to gaming, what's happened to movies. Walk us through some of the things that we've seen, Marv, as an effect of this movement on the media that we once loved.
Well, I mean, we have seen storytelling get completely thrown out the window in the name of identity politics, in the name of, virtue signaling. We have watched as some of our most beloved franchises have been utterly destroyed in the name of identity. And it all stems from this idea. And basically, somebody in one of my comments actually said this the other day, and I thought it was actually really interesting. They said it's pop culture colonialism. They are colonizing our biggest pop culture franchises, much in the same way that they say that people colonized specific areas geographically.
Right, and they deconstruct the territory that they're going to go into. So like with Star Wars, they deconstruct all of the heroes, the myths, the legends, and then they want to replace it. So it's not good enough for them to come in and colonize it. First, they have to tell you how terrible the stories are, how flawed they are, why you shouldn't have loved the heroes in the first place, whether it's Star Trek or Star Wars or Ghostbusters. I mean, we can keep going and going and going, Marv. But they came in and it's not just politics, right? The woke thing is not just political points. It's this movement that's now here. And the phase 2, I fear, Marv, is flat out communism.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Like the lady that's saying that she doesn't want to abolish Thanksgiving anymore, she has not changed her stance on Thanksgiving. She has not changed her stance on the police. They're just hiding it now because they understand that these things are because for the people that love those things, like they're not enough to get them elected. But the people that are terrified by concepts like abolish the police and get rid of things like Thanksgiving, they will show up in mass to vote against them. So what they're doing is basically they're pulling the Mamdani here. Like they are going to say that they're not as extreme as they actually are. And then once they're in power, show you how extreme they are. It's all smoke and mirrors now. And this is, we're all going to find out the hard way. God help us if this continues and these DSA candidates start getting into the Senate, start getting into the House, and God forbid one of them eventually becomes president. We are screwed if that happens.
When I want people to understand that, with the first era of woke, what they were trying to do is create this oppressor class system, right? Where white straight males are the oppressor class, and then everybody fights against them. And that flowed all through entertainment, and it changed entertainment. And this next phase is going to be the push for communism. Now, we're going to try this again, folks. We'll see if we can pull this off or if we're going to have more technical difficulties. Marv will be on the ready if we do. But here's AOC. We just want to go back in time and play what did AOC believe before she said, oh, yeah, woke phase 1. That was just nuts. What has AOC believed? What's the track record here? And why should we fear what woke phase 2 might be? Can we hear that, guys?
Nope.
Oh, boy. Marv, save us. Oh, no, Marv has stepped away, too.
When you share, are you hitting the share audio option?
I didn't know there was a share audio.
Yeah, it automatically mutes it if you don't click it.
I don't see it on the thing at all.
Try and reshare it, and then when you do the reshare, yeah.
Okay, what we'll do is I'll just send this over to Marv real quick. Marv, you fix this for us, and we'll, without getting into the technicalities while we're live. All right, Marv, the link is there. We'll get this fixed, but we want to go back through the history of AOC. Marv, that video is going to start off with about 10 seconds of the clip we've already seen. We want to go back to her past post that she's made, so we'll grab that in just a second, folks. In 3.
Let it go 10 seconds in.
Yep, 10 seconds in, and 3, 2, 1, here we go.
Okay, ready? Now I have no audio.
Oh. You're muted on bottom right.
Yeah, you have to.
Didn't go too far with some of those positions. I mean, you briefly supported the idea of defunding the police.
Well, I think that during this time and especially during COVID, there was a huge opening of the Overton window. We were shut down. There was some of the highest unemployment rates that we have seen because of those shutdowns. Yeah. And I think that the doors were really open in trying to entertain any and every policy that was going to get us to a better place. And I actually think that the discussions that were had in that time were quite fruitful. I think that when we talk about crime today, it's fundamentally different than the way that we talked about crime in bringing crime down, right? Mm-hmm. And I think that we all share in the goals of having as low a crime rate as possible. I think that, during lockdown, of course, rhetoric in that time is not rhetoric that we would use today. And I'm grateful that these candidates have the opportunity to present who they are to their electorate and what they're campaigning on in this moment.
Wow.
Okay. So I don't believe the woke movement has changed at all. And I'm not interested in the political aspect of this. Carol, I'm interested in the societal stuff here. And the societal stuff, to me, I think they're more radical than they were before. And I think that they're moderating just to try to get back into power. And then, again, the political side, set that aside. But just in terms of what they're up to culturally, I think they're preparing to bring in their idea of new communism. Woke didn't work, so woke went broke. Let's move on to the next thing. Phase 2 is the DSA. Phase 2 is socialism / phase 1 of communism. Your thoughts? Early stage communism.
I don't I don't understand how she stays in office. This confuses me like so
hard to get them out once they're in, Caro.
I appreciate the humble beginning of her starting as a bartender and then getting into politics after that. But this excessive gaslighting is kind of impressive. I know politicians are really good at it, but like she's really like knocking it out of the park. I was trying to find up some fun comments of things that she said in the past. I thought we could revisit together since she seems to have forgotten some of the things that she's commented on.
What do you got, Caro? What do you got?
So under capitalism, man oppresses man. Under socialism, it's the other way around. So that's my favorite. And then she has one comment, yellow cab drivers are financially ruined due to the unregulated expansion of Uber, which is ironic considering how much she uses Uber. So she really cared about those cab drivers. She would utilize their services a little bit more. And then the other one is, I don't think most of Congress understands how economics works. I don't know if she's talking about herself, but that's a terrible thing to say. And then my ultimate favorite is, the reason the unemployment is low is because everybody has 2 jobs.
Oh my goodness.
So
yeah,
these are not.
That gave me a nosebleed.
These are not. This is her, and this is her just talking, and it baffles me because every one of these people has like a team, right? Which also has its own thing, because if you have to rely on your team to tell you what to do, then let's just put your team in office and you can go away, right? So I'm just like it needs to stop. Like this just hurts me so bad. I can't do it.
But AOC, she's a big figure. Any audio on that?
Can we also remember that she didn't know how to use a gas stove and tried to start some movement to ban gas stoves that one year? And even did a video of showing how incompetent she was with the gas stove. Like, there are people who should not vote or be in office.
But, she doesn't believe in meritocracy. She doesn't believe in capitalism. And now she doesn't believe in woke, Blaine, just in time for the midterms and just in time for her to make a presidential run. So politics aside, I think that we are headed for a new era. I think entertainment, Blaine, is likely to switch now. We're not going to push the woke stuff. Disney's gotten rid of a lot of the Transformer. We'll say that instead of Trans Am. They've got rid of the episodes for kids content that way. I think they'll start pushing anti-capitalist themes. I think that's the next phase, because I think that's what they're after in the next era of whatever this is.
Yeah, I think that what they're realizing is before they were doing all of this just right out in the public, very obvious, very transparent about what they were doing. And I think they realized that didn't work. And they also realized that a lot less people were on board with what they were peddling than they thought would be. And so now what's going to suck is that they're going to just do it more discreetly, more quietly, and then, as the perfect term that Caro used, is the gaslighting. That's when the gaslighting is going to begin, and so it's just going to be them doing a lot of the same stuff, just more discreetly and less obviously, so that they can be like, "What are you talking about? You're looking for it when it's not even there." And that's what we're going to be going into for however long, and it's going to be a freaking nightmare, because it's just going to be an op to make everyone who's pointing this crap out look insane. And so it's going to be a mess. They're just going to be doing one thing while saying the complete opposite, versus before, where they were just doing it in public.
It's because the polling. Somebody has shown them polling that says going after the kids is not working.
Yeah.
Going after these particular issues with woke is not working. However, we can make headway because grocery prices are too high, gas is too high. We can make headway with socialism. Somebody is telling them that. Somebody in the polling is saying that's where we go, and that's going to be woke 2.0. Somebody's saying that. They haven't changed their beliefs for a second. You're never going to convince me that all of a sudden all these people suddenly want Thanksgiving and police and all that kind of stuff. Oh, we're big fans of low crime. Sure. Where was that 4 years ago when you had the chance, when you had the authoritarian boot on the throats of Americans? Where was that belief? Oh, we couldn't find it because you loved the revolution. The revolution is just changing. They're evolving it into something new, and it's woke 2.0. Panel, any other thoughts on this one? It's fascinating to see because it mirrors what we're seeing in entertainment. Companies like Disney pulling back some of this stuff, but I guarantee you switching over to an economic anti-capitalist message. Caro, your thoughts?
I just want to share this last comment. It's we need to invent technology that's never been invented before.
AOC.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Genius. Marv, would you invent a comment that we've never heard commented before?
I didn't invent it. She actually said it.
At the end of the day, you need to judge people, especially politicians, by their actions and not by what they're saying, because they will always show you who they are. And I think this woman has done more than enough to show you exactly who she is.
As have the entertainment companies who are in sync with her, in sync with Mamdani, in sync with all of this. You've got the Ruffalo Gruffalos, you've got the Barbara Streisands, you got so many of these folks, you got so many of the ladies on The View. They're all in tune with Rosie O'Donnell and what AOC is saying. They're all on this lockstep. The House of Mouse is too, and folks, get ready. We're going to predict this. You pay attention over the next 6 months, over the next year. Watch these capitalist corporations give you communism light, socialism. The DSAs are on the way, and the movement for Woke 2.0 has begun. You know, we've reached the end yet again, but ladies and gentlemen, we've had fun today, have we not? And until the next time we get to do so yet again, be a friend to the channel. Click that like button. Share your thoughts in the dialogue down below. And if you're not yet subscribed, well, we need you right here on Team Pro. Until we meet again, keep learning, keep growing.